I've got the boat strapped down just in case a gust comes through if I do put the sail up today. Hi guys, welcome back. This week I want to get the mast off the boat on the bench, glue on some sail track, create a halyard system for it, create a furling drum on the mast, get the mast back on the boat and successfully raised, fit the sail and roll it up on the mast. If I achieve all that this week, I'll be really happy. Let's get into it. I thought I'd get a good start today fitting a sail track or two, and I hadn't looked too closely at them, but I was really struggling to straighten them. There's one there you can see I sort of got straight, but to do so you got to get the plastic so hot that it deforms the track a bit, which I wasn't happy with. And then I had a closer look and took it up to my sail. I got 5mm bolt rope, and I've struggled to get anything that's anywhere near in the way of a decent track for this mast. And I slid a little bit along the bolt rope and then pulled on it to see if I could pull it out, and it was pretty easy. So that's it. I'm pulling the pin on the sail track, so I thought I've probably got a couple of options. I'll keep trying to find some sail track. Should I put a line down the mast that loops in and out of the sail basically? It's kind of like traditional sails in some respect are put onto a mast like that in a parallel way. And I thought that might work quite well, because the sail, one of the options I have is to take the sail around the front of the mast, so there's an envelope there. So most of the time the rope wouldn't be doing anything. It's the only reason I'm really putting on a track in the first place is when you go downwind, wing and wing, the sail will want to belly like a spinnaker, and that'll put huge tension on the tack and the head. So that's the reason why I'm trying to restrain the middle of the sail. As you can see here, I was getting ready to put fiberglass around my battens to join them. These are vertical battens, so they're quite long. Like the longest one is 9 meters, and these are 2 meter lengths of fiberglass, extruded fiberglass. So I set up these guides, and I was going to fiberglass around here and pull this side with a tape out afterwards, after it had gone off. And then I thought maybe there's a better way. I can try and find some aluminium tube, which I did. I was going to glue these aluminium tubes onto this extruded fiberglass, and then I thought, Jamie's swaging tool might persuade them to stay on there. I think it's going to work really well. I won't have to use any glue. Fast and easy. Okay, I'm making the batten ends. The rod is 8mm. I couldn't find any locally, or there doesn't seem to be any in the country, so I'm going to make them out of this breadboard. Is it polyethylene? That's the plan, and they'll look something like this. I need 8, but I'm making a couple of spares. I put the holes in these batten ends because there'll be a line on each one going from the top to the bottom of the sail, so I can pull these battens back out of the pocket again. Apparently on some bigger yachts with mast furling systems, they have vertical battens like this with pockets going from top to bottom, and the sail maker who finished off my sail told me it's a real mission, because imagine a much bigger batten and you've got to feed it into the sail from underneath. Well, as I have some 3M 5200 sealant. I'm going to glue these on one side of these fiberglass rods, these battens.
Time to get furled.
Right, let's see if we can turn up the furler side plates in the lathe. Oh, that was a good effect. I suspect this is going to slip, but we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this for more than one reason. I might have to grind up a special tool to be able to bore out the center here. So I'm pretty sure even with my big chuck I won't be able to hold it and bore out the center. I'll give it a go this way first, let's see what happens. I think I might have got away with it. Yes! Well, it's all back together again. Takes a little while to take it all apart and get it back together, but not much more than an hour, I don't think. And there's the drum. I think it's going to be okay. I might eventually end up adding another set of 4 pins here, but I think it'll be fine. And I can tie the line onto one of those. We're sure getting there. It's Friday morning. I was hoping to get the mast up today. I pretty much have organised everything so that I can do that. The weather isn't great though. It's going to be better tomorrow on Saturday. But I was hoping to get this video out tonight. Anyway, I finished up yesterday with putting the halyard on. The furling line is on. I've got to carry the mast outside, turn it round 180 degrees. I did redo my calculation on the mast. It's a little bit stronger than I thought it was. I compared it with a wooden mast formula to make sure I wasn't dreaming. And the wooden mast, I think it would be a solid spruce mast to match the strength of this mast would be just under 6 inches in diameter at the top of the tabernacle, the most critical place. My safety factor for this mast at 15 knots is around about 3. That's the lower end of what you want according to Eric Sponberg and others. You want 3 to 4. From what I could tell from that, although it didn't give the safety factor, but I could work it backwards. The wooden mast, unstayed mast, a formula that is commonly used, from what I could understand, the safety factor was about 3.5. Oh, I just touched the electric fence and got away with it. Well, as you can see, the momentum of this mast is a lot, as it is with most boats, but you just don't realise it. Whoa. And this shoulder strap has saved my hands and my back and how I lift it. And the rain is just holding off. How silly of me. I was so busy talking to you guys and explaining the inertia situation that I went 180 degrees too much. There I come again. How many of you noticed that? Well guys, hopefully I can zoom in editing because I'm having problems with up close focusing at the moment. But you can see here why you don't use old stainless steel in new projects. I might have had this block since the 80s. I'm not sure, I've had it way too long. But you can see the problem there. I was just retensioning the halyard line before I raised the mast, and I felt something let go up the top of here. And look at that. I'm so glad it happened now. I wasn't going to use this block long term, it was just going to get me by while I tested things out. But it's not even going to help with that. I couldn't help taking that block apart. I thought it'd be sensible to. And sure enough, there's a bit of corrosion, of course, on that pin. But I don't think it goes very far through, and I don't think it would have failed on me. But very interesting to see anyway. Okay, as you saw in the last video, I have to lower the mast to put it in its position. It's a real pain, but this is the first time I'm trying. So let's see how it goes. This is no fun. It's not working very well because this ring is being racked. Well, we made it, and that took about 11.5 minutes. So I'll just nip it up now and we're good to go again. Although the weather's closing in, I don't know if I'll get the sail up today. Well, it's getting on in the afternoon on Friday. I've got the sheets set up. Very important. I'll probably be using a red and a green line for the sheets because that'll save a bit of confusion in the cockpit when you're sorting them, when you're easing them in a hurry or something. But in the meantime, I'll use that black line. Also, that sheeting position there, it'll be angled up a lot higher, of course. Still not ideal. I really don't like the idea of helming in a position where the sheet is going to sweep your head. So it was never intended to be like this. It was going to be sheeted where that orange tape is down there, and of course there were going to be wishbones so that you could sheet directly downwards. It's so cold today, I'm not even hardly talking properly. I've got the boat strapped down just in case a gust comes through, if I do put the sail up today. Got the ground sheet down so that if I put the sail here, it's not going to get dirty or too wet. The furling line's set up, the halyard's set up. I'm starting to wonder if it was such a great decision to make those battens parallel to the mast, because in my original drawing, to the top of the square top came down at an angle like that. So on my model it worked really well. I'm not sure if it's going to work so well with them parallel like that. It's all a big, let's see. It's a prototype. There's going to be modifications. That's the only thing I can guarantee.